Liège-Bastogne-Liège course, and there's something like about 1,200 inhabitants, but they have been joined by thousands of spectators to watch the racing today, and we'll have a chance, I think, to talk to some of the girls before the action gets underway. The mechanics here fettling the bicycles and making sure all is in order for a rather tough course they've got here, slightly shortened from last year, by the way, but no less, with the sun shining, it's somewhat better conditions than we've had here in the past, because this is the third time, in fact, that the World Cup's been held just at this particular site. Right, last minute checkups and a chance then to see what they think of today's racing, as the girls now ready themselves for the off.
Ich hatte in Madrid und Italien bin gute Rennen gefahren und ich hoffe, dass ich mich weiterhin steigern kann und
saying that she went quite well in Madrid, but better in
well, you know, sometimes you have fitness and sometimes you don't, and I'm a little bit behind this year, but I think that my focus will be in Vail in September, and actually I know that's my focus, and I'll be coming up for that for sure.
Well, we wish them all the best of luck, and our attractive friend here turns up as usual. They're looking very smart indeed, and the girls ready for this course. 11.5 kilometres, and they're going to do 3 laps. So well, that's give you some idea of the level change, 440 metres, but it's a very, very technical course indeed. And but the start down in the town takes the riders up a very big climb indeed. It's like 400 volunteers have been working over the weekend to get this event ready, and now the girls are underway, the great rate of knots, and all the stars seem to have made it through there. Wait till they thin out on the first climb. The girls going straight in their event, the men having to qualify, but here we are. Already forcing the pace at front, a very good start there indeed for Alison Seidel, who won the race in Elba, so she's sorting some of the riders out here. There goes Sylvia first, and there goes Julia Furtado, that's Karen Alexander, and 8:11, that's a good start too for Jenny Longo. She was finding it somewhat difficult to stay with the top riders when she was contesting the early couple of rounds, but she was a girl who rode into second place in the World Championships last year at MTB, and now she's beginning to understand the technicalities of this race, although actually Jenny's still riding in road races too as well. So she's got lots of stamina, but you can see here the experience needed to control the bike, and this gives you some idea of that climb. But still, Alison Seidel ahead of Julia Furtado, first in Madrid, but only second place in Elba for Furtado. And here Sylvia First, ex-world champion, she's going well at the moment, and Karen Alexander followed then. There's the world champion. Chantal Darcourt's in there as well at the moment, 8:07, so we've got a nice little group here, and Furtado's forced her way through to the front. Well, she smarted a bit under that defeat at Elba. That was the first time she'd been beaten in straight rides in the Grundig, because all the way last year Juliana Furtado won every Grundig. She didn't race at Plymouth, which is the race we're having next week, by the way, but every other time she rode, she won until she went down to Elba last week and got beaten there. And she's out now in second place. That's Karen Alexander going well on the climbs. That's good, that's good. And the early leader has dropped back into third spot. So Alison Seidel, the Canadian girl riding for Volvo Cannondale, is now back in third. First the Swiss girl just behind her, then the Italian girl in the white jersey with the rainbow bands on it. That's Paola Pezzo. So they have really spread this field out now. Chantal Darcourt still just in behind them, in with the shout at the moment, and Furtado putting the pressure on, gone back into the lead. You can see a difference in styles here, by the way, and bikes as well. All aluminium Klein, all aluminium Cannondale, but the suspension on Seidel's is up inside the front head of the bike, and Alison has got that particular bike, the suspension that's only used by the Cannondale people. Julia, I think, is on rock shocks with her GT, and the straight forks that Caroline Alexander is using is what's called a Gerben front fork, and the suspension is slightly different again. So 3 different girls in the lead, 3 different bikes, 3 different sets of suspension systems, 1 from the USA, 1 from Great Britain, and the other one from Canada. And this Belgian crowd here admiring the technique of these riders. They've been out training around the course, but when it comes to racing, you've got to go that notch faster. And with the course drying out after the dampness earlier on that we had, and certainly it's a very, very good course indeed for bike racing today. Further back down the field, Elaine Sinclair for Marin, the great British girl. She's just hovering outside the top 30 with Angela Ward as well. They come into the final lap. Another girl is just on the top 10, by Debbie Murrell for the Quasar Racing team. She's just in the top 10 as well. On this long climb, Juliana Furtado has taken the lead. Good close-up view of her front forks. The suspension system not working overtime now on a aluminium GT. She's just sitting in there on this long climb, on the low gears, through the feeding station. And as she goes then up this climb, looking like she's heading in for a victory on this final lap, we're going to take a short break. Do come back for more action from the Grundig.
Der Megatron-Effekt. Schärfer. Brillanter. Echter. Grundig Megatron. Grundig made for